Booker is a tool to create and manage journal entries for a year or longer from a spreadsheet. And that spreadsheet will contain all of the journal entry backup so that you can easily tick and tie all of your entries to the underlying support. This is similar to a spreadsheet sync, but it has a ton of additional features. This is an example of a month-end close booker that contains all of my monthly entries. I'm using it for right of use assets, allocations, bonus accruals, Stripe revenue, and more. Any kind of journal entry can be managed with Booker. Each unique label represents a unique set of journal entries, and you can think of this as a grid or scheduler, where on the left-hand side, in columns B through H in this example, you'll see the entry information, where in row 2, going across, those are the dates. If I click book, this will post all of those journal entries for me in seconds. We'll refresh our P&L, and you can see all of those entries are accounted for. Now let's click in and look at one. Here's an example of our allocation entry. And what I want to call your attention to is this memo in the bottom left-hand side. This is going to give you a link that will always tick and tie you right back to the support. So any entry can be linked directly to what created it. In this case, it's linking to our directory, which is telling me I have 2 different tabs here that are pushing data into QuickBooks, and also another 15 or so tabs pulling data from QuickBooks. Now, the pulling data from QuickBooks is Wrangler, which is a separate app that I'm not covering in this demo. But a control panel for a spreadsheet will let you know everything coming and going. Now, you might be looking at this thinking, how do I build this? Well, there are templates that you can copy, but let me show you the basics. This is an example of a blank booker. When you first generate one, it will look a lot like this. From left to right is how you start creating your journal entries. So here's where you'll enter the entry label, and this is going to create the beginning of the unique ID for the journal entries. The unique IDs are always going to be the entry label and the date. Speaking of dates, you can change these to be whatever you'd like them to be. You can also insert columns and remove columns as needed to get additional dates posted. It is fully data validated, so you can simply start typing and make sure that you are only posting activity to accounts that exist in QuickBooks. Positive numbers are debits, negative numbers are credits, and as you've seen, if I click book, it is going to sync that data in a couple of seconds. Now, here's a cool feature. Once it creates that journal entry, if you update it here and click book again, as long as the books are unlocked, that entry will get updated. It will not duplicate any of the journal entries that it posts. And if the books are locked, you'll see that the entry won't sync because the column will be grayed out. Now that you understand the basics, here's how this spreadsheet came to be. This is one cover sheet, and this is just our style and preference. When you subscribe to Booker, you can have as many different spreadsheets and as many different tabs as you'd like. We recommend one master spreadsheet and one tab that houses all of the data going into QuickBooks and various supporting tabs within the workbook to back up those calculations. Booker is very flexible. As you can see, where I'm highlighting yellow, these rows are left blank, so Booker is not going to look at them. I use those blank rows to leave notes, to group, and in some cases to even cite numbers that are going to be referenced as part of my journal entries. That's the final and most important key feature of Booker, referencing with formulas. As you'll see as I expand this, I also have additional columns in here, and these are meant to help me write better formulas, because what you want to do is create dynamic workbooks. So this formula is doing an index match based on these 2 matching keys and this date, and it pulls directly from my lease schedule. So again, you are creating a way to manage your journal entries all in one place with all of your support contained in the same workbook, where if you update one cell on any of the support tabs, it flows dynamically to the Booker tab and from here syncs to QuickBooks. This is not just a spreadsheet sync. It is the best and easiest way to manage all of your monthly entries.